The huge alien ship appeared in Earth's sky on a sunny Tuesday morning. It was bigger than any human building and shaped like a smooth stone. People all over the world stopped and looked up. Some were scared. Some were excited. All were surprised. Captain Tae-ho Kim stood straight in his Blue Earth Defense Fleet uniform. His heart beat fast, but his face stayed calm. He was chosen to meet the aliens first. The weight of all humanity rested on his shoulders. "Are you ready, Captain?" asked the voice in his earpiece. "Yes, sir," Tae-ho said. He watched as the small landing craft came down from the big ship. It touched the ground with a soft hiss. The door of the craft opened slowly. Out stepped a tall figure with gray skin and 4 arms. Its eyes were large and purple. It wore shining armor that seemed to move like water. "I am Xerix, ambassador of the Galactic Coalition," the alien said in perfect English. Its voice sounded like many voices speaking at once. "We have been watching your world for some time." Tae-ho bowed slightly. "I am Captain Tae-ho Kim of Earth. We welcome you in peace." Xerix looked down at Tae-ho. The alien was 2 heads taller and much wider. Its eyes narrowed. "Your species is smaller than we expected," Xerix said. "How do you survive with such weak bodies?" Tae-ho felt his cheeks grow warm, but he kept his voice steady. "We have our ways, Ambassador. Intelligence and teamwork have served us well." Xerix made a sound like stones falling. It took Tae-ho a moment to realize it was laughter. "Intelligence is good, but strength wins wars," Xerix said. "The Coalition has 300 member species across 5,000 worlds. Most could break a human in half without trying." The meeting lasted 3 more hours. Xerix explained that Earth could join the Coalition, but only as a minor member. Humans would be allowed to trade and travel, but would have no vote in important matters. Earth would need to provide resources and follow Coalition rules. Later that day, Earth's leaders gathered in a secret room deep under the old United Nations building in New York. The room was plain with 1 long table and 20 chairs. The walls were thick to keep out listening devices. General Ji-won Park, head of Earth's combined military, slammed her fist on the table. "They think we are weak. Did you see how that Xerix looked at Captain Kim? Like he was a child." "The Coalition has technology we cannot match," said the president of the World Council. "Their ships can destroy our cities from space. We must be careful." Tae-ho stood up. "Ambassador Xerix told me something interesting after the cameras were off. The Coalition is fighting a war on its outer edges. They need resources and soldiers. That's why they came to Earth now." General Ji-won's eyes lit up. "So they need us." "They need bodies," Tae-ho corrected. "They don't respect us as equals." The room grew quiet as everyone thought about this. "Then we must show them why they should respect us," said General Ji-won. "We have faced stronger enemies before. We have survived ice ages, plagues, and our own wars. We will find a way." "What can we offer that 300 other species cannot?" asked someone. General Ji-won smiled slowly. "We have partners that no other world has. Allies that have stood with us for 15,000 years. The Coalition has never seen anything like them." "You mean?" Tae-ho began. "Yes," said General Ji-won. "It's time to show the stars what humans and wolves can do together." 6 months passed since the aliens first came to Earth. The Galactic Coalition had set up a base on the moon. Their ships came and went all the time. They'd brought new things to trade, but the prices were always high. Tae-ho sat in a big meeting room in the Coalition's moon base. The walls were made of a clear material that let him see the stars and Earth hanging in the black sky. 5 Coalition officers sat across from him and General Ji-won. "Earth must provide 10,000 soldiers and workers," said Xerix. "The Coalition needs help in its war against the Void Swarm." General Ji-won's face stayed calm, but Tae-ho could see her hands ball into fists under the table. "That is a lot to ask," she said. "We have just met your people. A big alien with red skin and a face full of small horns laughed. His name was Kragoth, and he was a war leader. Your humans would not last one day in real battle, Kragoth said, but you can dig tunnels and carry supplies. The strong species will do the fighting. Tai-Ho felt his face grow hot. Humans have fought many wars. We know how to fight. Kragoth picked up a metal cup and crushed it in one hand. Can you do this, small human? Our enemies have claws that cut through metal. They have acid blood. They have teeth longer than your arm. The meeting ended with no agreement. On the shuttle back to Earth, General Ji-won looked out the window for a long time. Then she turned to Tai-Ho. They will not stop asking, she said. Next time, they will not ask nicely. What can we do? Tai-Ho asked. Their weapons are too strong. We must use what they don't have, she said. Call a meeting with the top military leaders. And get Major Hyun-woo Lee there too. 3 days later, 20 people sat in a round room deep under the old military base in the Rocky Mountains. Maps and screens covered the walls. Major Hyun-woo Lee stood in the middle. He was a short man with kind eyes and a serious mouth. The coalition thinks only of force, Hyun-woo said. Big muscles, sharp claws, strong jaws. But humans never won by being the strongest. He touched a screen, and a picture of a wolf appeared. We won by having friends, he continued. For 15,000 years, wolves and humans have worked together. We hunted together. We protected each other. We became partners. General Ji-won nodded. The aliens have never seen anything like it. No species in the coalition has this kind of bond with another animal. But wolves are not enough against spaceships, someone said. No, agreed Hyun-woo. But we have something else they don't know about. He showed them a small silver device shaped like a seed. This is a neural link, he explained. Our scientists made it 5 years ago to help people with missing limbs. It connects a human mind to a computer. Tai-Ho's eyes widened as he understood. You want to connect human minds to wolf minds. Hyun-woo smiled. Yes. Imagine it. A wolf's speed, strength, and senses controlled by a human's strategy and planning. Working in packs that can think as one. No species in the galaxy fights like that. General Ji-won stood up. I am starting a new program today. The Wolf Brigade. Colonel Du Yun-kang will lead it. A tall woman with a scar on her chin stood up and bowed. We have 6 months before the coalition comes back, General Ji-won said. 6 months to show them that humans and wolves together are more than they can imagine. Lieutenant Soo-bin Choi stood at the edge of a large training field in Alaska. Snow covered the ground, and tall pine trees surrounded the area. She wore a black uniform with a silver wolf's head on the shoulder. A huge gray wolf walked beside her. His name was Storm, and he was the biggest wolf Soo-bin had ever seen. His yellow eyes watched her carefully. Are you ready? Colonel Du Yun asked, walking up to them. She held the small silver neural link device. Soo-bin took a deep breath. Yes, Colonel. The device felt cold against the back of Soo-bin's neck. There was a small pinch, then warmth spread through her head. Storm sat very still as another device was placed on his neck. At first, nothing happened. Then Soo-bin felt something new in her mind. She could smell things she never smelled before. She could hear tiny animals moving under the snow far away. These were Storm's senses. Storm can feel your thoughts too, Colonel Du Yun said. Try to send him a picture in your mind. Soo-bin thought about running to a tree at the far end of the field. Suddenly, Storm took off running. He went straight to the tree she had thought about. Good, said Colonel Du Yun. Now for the hard part. Over the next weeks, Soo-bin and Storm learned to work as one. They practiced running together, hunting together, and fighting together. Other handlers and wolves joined them. Soon there were 20 teams training in the snow. The wolves wore special armor made of a light but strong metal. It covered their bodies but left them able to move fast. Small cameras on the armor let the human handlers see everything their wolves saw. The neural link lets us think together, Subin explained to Captain Teo when he came to visit. But it's not like we control the wolves. We are partners. They understand what we want, and we understand what they need. Just then, an alarm sounded. Red lights flashed across the training field. Attack practice. Colonel Du-Yun's voice called over the speakers. Defend the base. Subin touched the neural link on her neck. At once, she could feel Storm's excitement. 20 wolves and their handlers moved as one. They split into groups without speaking. Some went left, some went right. Storm led his pack of 5 wolves through the trees. Through Storm's eyes, Subin saw the practice targets. Big metal things that moved like coalition soldiers. Storm's pack circled around behind them. In her mind, Subin could feel the other wolves too. She knew where each pack was. All the handlers shared their thoughts through the neural links. It was like being part of one big pack. The wolves attacked from all sides at once. They moved so fast, the practice targets couldn't track them. In 3 minutes, every target was down. 2 minutes faster than yesterday, Colonel Du-Yun said, smiling. A coalition spy drone washed from high above. Its camera zoomed in on the wolves and humans training together. In his office on the moon base, Xerix looked at the spy pictures and laughed. They are training with primitive animals, he told Kragoth. The humans think their pets can fight our enemies. Kragoth crushed another cup in his big hand. Let them play with their beasts. When real war comes, they will learn. But Subin and Storm were already learning something else. They were learning that a human mind and a wolf's heart together could do things no one expected. And they were not alone. All over Earth, more Wolf Brigade teams were training, getting ready to show the galaxy what they could do. The red dust of Mars blew across the mining colony's windows. Inside, 50 Earth miners worked to dig up rare metals that the Coalition wanted. Subin watched the Storm through the thick glass. Storm lay at her feet, his yellow eyes half closed but alert. Movement on the North Ridge, a voice said in her earpiece. 3 coalition ships. Subin touched her neural link. Through Storm's ears, she could hear the low hum of engines, even through the colony's thick walls. Something was wrong. Those weren't supply ships. The first blast hit the colony's shield. Red lights flashed everywhere. Coalition forces are attacking. The colony leader shouted. They say we've been holding back metals they need. They're here to take over the mine. Subin ran to the command room. Colonel Du-Yun was already there, looking at the screens showing the enemy ships. They think we're weak, Colonel Du-Yun said. Time to show them different. Lieutenant Subin, take your wolf team out there. Subin nodded. 5 handlers and their wolves gathered at the airlock. The wolves wore their special space armor, clear bubbles around their heads for air, and boots that let them grip the red Mars rocks. Remember your training, Subin told her team. The low gravity means we can jump farther, but so can they. Through the neural link, she sent calm thoughts to Storm. The big wolf's mind touched hers, ready and eager. The airlock opened. Mars stretched out before them, red and wild. Coalition soldiers were coming down from their ships. Big aliens with 4 arms, others with tough shells like tanks. They can't track us all at once, Subin said through the radio. Split up. Use the dust storm. The wolves moved like shadows in the red dust. Through their shared neural link, Subin could see through all their eyes at once. Storm led 2 wolves left. 2 more went right. They circled behind the coalition forces. Look at this, one alien soldier laughed. They send animals to fight us. That was when Storm's pack attacked. They came from 3 sides at once. The wolves jumped high in the low gravity, spinning in their armor. Their metal-covered teeth cut through coalition spacesuits. Their armored paws smashed weapons. Subin guided them through the neural link, helping them work together perfectly. One wolf would jump to make a soldier shoot high, while another swept their legs. Storm himself took down 3 soldiers before they could even turn around. The coalition forces had never seen anything like it. They couldn't predict where the wolves would attack next. The dust storm made it even harder to see, but the wolves could smell and hear them clearly. "Fall back," the coalition commander shouted. "Back to the ships." In 10 minutes, it was over. The coalition ships flew away, leaving broken weapons scattered on the red ground. Not one wolf was hurt. Colonel Du Yun's voice came through the radio. "Good work, Wolf Brigade. Come on home." Later, in the colony's meeting room, they got a message from Earth. General G1's face appeared on the screen. "The coalition is angry," she said. "They're saying we used illegal weapons. They've never seen wolves fight like this before. What do they expect us to do?" Su Bin asked. "Just let them take what they want." "No," General Ji-1 smiled. "We expect them to learn. This was just a small fight. But now they know. Humans and wolves together are something new in the galaxy. And we're just getting started." Storm put his big head on Su Bin's lap. Through their link, she could feel his pride. They had won their first battle. But they all knew bigger fights were coming. Captain Taeho stood in the great meeting hall of the Coalition's moonbase. The room was full of angry alien leaders. Their voices echoed off the crystal walls. "These humans have broken galactic law," shouted Kragoth, his red face darker than usual. "They used changed animals in battle. This is not allowed." Ambassador Xerix raised all 4 of his arms for quiet. Captain Taeho explained these wolf creatures. "Our scientists say they are not natural. They are too smart, too organized." Taeho took a small data cube from his pocket and placed it on the table. A picture of ancient cave paintings appeared in the air. It showed humans and wolves hunting together. 15,000 years ago, Taeho said, wolves and humans chose to work together, not as master and slave, but as partners. We grew together. We learned together. The neural links just help us talk to each other better. Lies. Kragoth smashed his fist on the table. No animal works with other species like this. You have made these wolves into weapons. The doors opened and Su Bin walked in. Storm padded quietly beside her, his armored feet making no sound. The alien leaders drew back. "You bring this beast here?" Xerix asked. "Storm is not a beast," Su Bin said. "He is a soldier of Earth, same as me." She turned to Taeho. "Sir, the Wolf Brigade is ready to show them." Taeho nodded and touched the data cube again. New pictures appeared, wolves and humans living together through history. Hunting teams, rescue workers, police partners. "You demanded our help in your war," Taeho said. "Now you complain about how we fight. The wolves are our allies. We will not give them up." A tall alien with blue scales stood up. "If you do not stop using these wolves, we will take action. The Coalition has many warships." Storm growled softly. Through their neural link, Su Bin felt his anger at the threat. "The wolves stay," Taeho said firmly. "Earth stands with its oldest friends." Later, in the shuttle back to Earth, Su Bin looked worried. "Will they attack us now?" "Maybe," Taeho said. But they saw something important today. They saw that Storm came to a meeting, stayed calm, and behaved better than Kragoth did. It makes them wonder what else they're wrong about. General Ji-1 was waiting when they landed. Her face was serious. "The Coalition has given us 1 month," she said. "Either we stop using the Wolf Brigade, or they say they will remove us from the Coalition by force." "What are our orders?" Su Bin asked. "Train harder," General Ji-1 said. "We have 1 month to get ready. The Coalition thinks they can scare us into giving up our wolves." She smiled. "They still don't understand humans very well." That night, Su Bin sat with Storm under the stars. Through their link, she could feel his thoughts. Loyalty, strength, readiness for whatever came next. "They think you're just an animal," she told him. "They think we changed you into a weapon. They don't understand that humans didn't make wolves strong. Wolves helped make humans strong." Storm's yellow eyes looked at her. In his mind, she saw pictures of hunting together, fighting together, protecting each other. That was what the coalition couldn't understand. Wolves and humans were stronger together, not because of neural links or special armor, but because they chose to be partners. The coalition's deadline was coming, but Su Bin and Storm weren't afraid. They had each other. And soon, the galaxy would learn what that really meant. The coalition's deadline passed. Their attack came at Earth's biggest moon base just as the sun rose over the lunar mountains. Su Bin watched from the base's window as 50 coalition ships appeared from behind the moon. They were big and black, shaped like angry insects. All Wolf Brigade units, ready positions. Colonel Du Yun's voice came through the radio. "This is what we trained for." Su Bin ran to the armor room with Storm. Other handlers and wolves were there too, getting ready. The wolves wore their newest space armor, black and silver with strong, clear helmets. Special magnets in their boots would help them walk on the moon's surface. "They think they'll crush us quickly," Su Bin told her team as they put on their own spacesuits. "Let's show them how wrong they are." Through the neural link, she could feel Storm's excitement. He wasn't afraid. None of the wolves were. The first explosions hit the base's shields. Coalition soldiers started landing in hundreds of small ships. They carried big guns and wore heavy armor. "Wolf Brigade, move out," Colonel Du Yun ordered. Airlocks opened all around the base. 100 wolves and their handlers stepped out onto the moon's gray dust. In the low gravity, the wolves could jump 6 times higher than on Earth. Su Bin and Storm led their pack to defend the north side of the base. Through the neural link network, she could see what all the other wolf teams saw too. The coalition forces were everywhere, but now so were they. Attack. The order came, and the wolves leaped into action. Storm jumped high over a group of coalition soldiers. They shot at him, but he was moving too fast. He landed behind them and took down 3 before they could turn around. Other wolves did the same all around the base. The coalition soldiers were strong, but they fought alone. Each one tried to be a hero. The wolves fought in packs, helping each other. When one wolf jumped high to draw fire, another would attack from below. When one pack kept the enemy busy in front, another pack would strike from behind. Su Bin guided Storm's pack through complicated attacks. Jump, strike, move. Never stay still. Never fight alone. The wolves' armor protected them from most weapons, and their teamwork protected them from everything else. "The North Shield is failing," someone shouted over the radio. "We've got it," Su Bin said. She sent a picture through the neural link to all nearby wolves. 12 wolves broke off from other fights and joined Storm's pack. Together, they hit the coalition forces trying to break through the shield. The wolves moved like one team, as if they shared one mind. In 3 minutes, that whole group of coalition soldiers was running back to their ships. The battle lasted 2 hours. When it was over, broken coalition weapons lay scattered on the moon's surface. Their ships were flying away, many of them damaged. Inside the base, Colonel Du Yun gathered everyone together. Some wolves were hurt, but none badly. Their armor had worked well. "Good job, everyone," she said, but this was just the start. The coalition won't give up after one loss. Su Bin patted Storm's head. Through their link, she could feel how proud he was. Not just proud of fighting well, but proud of protecting his human friends. "Let them come back," she said. "We'll be ready." They thought wolves were just animals, and humans were just weak creatures. Now they're learning that together, we're something else, something stronger. Storm's yellow eyes looked at her. In his mind, she saw the next battle. They would face it the same way wolves and humans had faced everything for 15,000 years. Together, a week after the moon battle, the coalition changed its plans. Kragath himself led their new attack on Earth's space stations. "We have studied how these wolf beasts fight," he told his soldiers. "They work in groups. They jump around too much, so we will be ready this time." The coalition ships appeared suddenly near Earth's biggest space station. This time, they had new weapons, nets made of energy that could catch jumping wolves, and guns that fired clouds of tiny robots to confuse the wolves' smell. Su-bin and Storm watched from inside the space station as the coalition forces came closer. Through their neural link, she could feel that something was different about this attack. "They're not charging in like before," she told Colonel Du-yun. "They're moving slowly, carefully. They learned from losing," Colonel Du-yun said. "Now we must learn too. Are you ready?" Su-bin nodded. Storm's pack moved to the airlock with 5 other wolf teams, but when they went out to fight, things were harder than before. The coalition soldiers stayed in tight groups. When wolves tried to jump over them, they caught them in energy nets. When wolves tried to circle around, the tiny robots blocked their path. 2 wolf teams are trapped, a voice called over the radio. Section 5 needs help. Through the neural link, Su-bin felt Storm's frustration. Their usual tricks weren't working. Then she noticed something through Storm's eyes. The coalition soldiers moved in the same way every time. When wolves attacked from above, they raised their nets in the same pattern. When wolves attacked from behind, they turned in the same direction. "They learned our old moves," Su-bin said to Storm. "But that means they can't change their new moves easily." She quickly shared what she saw through the neural link network. All the wolf teams could now see the pattern. Storm showed his pack a new way to attack, not jumping high, but staying low and attacking the soldiers' legs in different places each time. The coalition soldiers tried to use their nets, but they were aimed too high. The tiny robots couldn't fly low enough to stop the wolves. Soon, more wolf teams were copying Storm's new tactics. "Look," someone shouted. "Krigoth's ship is open." Su-bin saw it too. The coalition leader's ship had opened its doors to send out more soldiers. Storm's pack was the closest. "Let's go," Su-bin thought through the link. Storm led his pack in a quick, quiet attack. They slipped past the confused soldiers and into Krigoth's ship. Inside, they found the ship's control room. The wolves damaged the controls before anyone could stop them. Krigoth's ship started to drift, its weapons powerless. Without their leader's orders, the coalition forces fell into chaos. Some ships tried to help Krigoth. Others kept fighting. Some started to leave. "Push them back," Colonel Du-yun ordered. All the wolf teams attacked together, using their new low attacks. An hour later, the coalition ships were gone. In the space station's medical bay, doctors checked the few wolves who were hurt. None were badly injured. Su-bin sat with Storm, feeling proud through their link. "You figured out their pattern," Colonel Du-yun said to them. "And you found a new way to fight. That's what they don't understand about wolves and humans together. We don't just fight. We learn, we change, we get better." But Su-bin was worried. "They'll come back with new plans again." "Yes," Colonel Du-yun smiled, "and we'll be ready again, because that's what wolves and humans do best. We adapt together." Storm's yellow eyes glowed. Through the neural link, Su-bin felt his excitement for the next battle. Whatever came next, they would face it as one pack, growing stronger each time. The coalition gathered its biggest fleet ever. 1,000 ships filled the space around Mars. Krigoth stood on his new command ship, his red face dark with anger. "No more clever plans," he told his armies. "This time we crush them with pure force." On Earth, General Jae-won called all Wolf Brigade leaders together. The meeting room was full of handlers and their wolves. Su-bin sat with Storm, feeling the tension through their neural link. "The coalition is done playing games," General Jae-won said. "They want to end this today. So do we. Colonel Du-yun, tell them about Operation Howl." Colonel Du-yun stepped forward. "Every Wolf Brigade team will attack at once. Not just in space, everywhere. The moon base, Mars colony, all space stations. One big pack, moving as one." Through the neural links, all the wolves could connect their minds together. It had never been tried with so many before. 300 wolves and their handlers would share thoughts, see through each other's eyes, fight as one team. Will it work with so many minds? Someone asked. Su Bin felt Storm's answer through their link. Wolves had always lived in packs. More minds meant more strength. The coalition attack began at dawn. Their ships came from all directions. But Earth was ready. Operation Howl, begin, General Jai-1 ordered. All around Earth and its colonies, wolves and handlers stepped out to fight. This time, they were all connected. Su Bin could see through hundreds of wolves' eyes. Storm could feel the thoughts of every handler. They moved like one huge pack. When coalition ships attacked the moon, wolves on Mars could see it and learn from it. When handlers found a weak spot in coalition armor, every wolf knew about it instantly. It's working. Colonel Du Yun shouted. Push them back. The coalition soldiers couldn't understand what was happening. Everywhere they attacked, the wolves were ready. Every tactic they tried was countered before it could work. Su Bin and Storm led a group of wolves straight at Kragoth's new ship. Through the shared neural link, 50 other wolves moved with them, perfectly in time. They dodged energy nets, jumped over robot clouds, and broke into the ship from 5 different places at once. Kragoth himself came to fight them. He was twice as tall as a wolf, with arms like tree trunks. But he fought alone. Storm didn't. His whole pack hit Kragoth together. 2 wolves grabbed his legs. 3 more knocked away his weapons. Storm himself landed on Kragoth's chest, pressing him to the floor. Su Bin walked up to the fallen coalition leader. Do you understand now? This is not about who is biggest or strongest. It's about working together. All across space, coalition ships were retreating. Their soldiers had never seen anything like Operation Howl. They couldn't fight an enemy that thought and moved as one. Back on Earth, General Ji-1 got a message from the coalition's leaders. They want to talk, she told everyone. Really talk this time. No more fighting. Su Bin hugged Storm's neck. Through their link, she felt his joy and pride. Around them, other handlers and wolves celebrated together. We did it, Colonel Du Yun said. We showed them what Earth can do. No, Su Bin corrected her. We showed them what humans and wolves can do together. And this is just the beginning. Storm's yellow eyes looked to the stars. Through their link, Su Bin saw what he was thinking. There was a whole galaxy out there, and now everyone in it would know. Never underestimate the power of 2 species who choose to be partners, friends, and family. The coalition gathered its biggest fleet ever. 1,000 ships filled the space around Mars. Kragoth stood on his new command ship, his red face dark with anger. No more clever plans, he told his armies. This time we crushed them with pure force. On Earth, General Jai-1 called all Wolf Brigade leaders together. The meeting room was full of handlers and their wolves. Su Bin sat with Storm, feeling the tension through their neural link. The coalition is done playing games, General Jai-1 said. They'd want to end this today. So do we. Colonel Du Yun, tell them about Operation Howl. Colonel Du Yun stepped forward. Every Wolf Brigade team will attack at once. Not just in space, everywhere. The moon base, Mars colony, all space stations. One big pack, moving as one. Through the neural links, all the wolves could connect their minds together. It had never been tried with so many before. 300 wolves and their handlers would share thoughts, see through each other's eyes, fight as one team. Will it work with so many minds? Someone asked. Su Bin felt Storm's answer through their link. Wolves had always lived in packs. More minds meant more strength. The coalition attack began at dawn. Their ships came from all directions. But Earth was ready. Operation Howl, begin, General Jai-1 ordered. All around Earth and its colonies, wolves and handlers stepped out to fight. This time, they were all connected. Su Bin could see through hundreds of wolves' eyes. Storm could feel the thoughts of every handler. They moved like one huge pack. When coalition ships attacked the moon, wolves on Mars could see it and learn from it. When handlers found a weak spot in coalition armor, every wolf knew about it instantly. "It's working," Colonel Du Yun shouted. "Push them back." The coalition soldiers couldn't understand what was happening. Everywhere they attacked, the wolves were ready. Every tactic they tried was countered before it could work. Su Bin and Storm led a group of wolves straight at Kragoth's new ship. Through the shared neural link, 50 other wolves moved with them, perfectly in time. They dodged energy nets, jumped over robot clouds, and broke into the ship from 5 different places at once. Kragoth himself came to fight them. He was twice as tall as a wolf, with arms like tree trunks. But he fought alone. Storm didn't. His whole pack hit Kragoth together. 2 wolves grabbed his legs. 3 more knocked away his weapons. Storm himself landed on Kragoth's chest, pressing him to the floor. Su Bin walked up to the fallen coalition leader. "Do you understand now? This is not about who is biggest or strongest. It's about working together." All across space, coalition ships were retreating. Their soldiers had never seen anything like Operation Howl. They couldn't fight an enemy that thought and moved as one. Back on Earth, General Ji-won got a message from the coalition's leaders. "They want to talk," she told everyone. "Really talk this time. No more fighting." Su Bin hugged Storm's neck. Through their link, she felt his joy and pride. Around them, other handlers and wolves celebrated together. "We did it," Colonel Du Yun said. "We showed them what Earth can do." "No," Su Bin corrected her. "We showed them what humans and wolves can do together. And this is just the beginning." Storm's yellow eyes looked to the stars. Through their link, Su Bin saw what he was thinking. There was a whole galaxy out there, and now everyone in it would know. Never underestimate the power of 2 species who choose to be partners, friends, and family.